Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is your first time. Thank you for selecting this video. Welcome to Jazz Journey. Well, today I want to do a video that is side by side, a battle of two foundations. These two foundations are both matte. They claim to give you that matte look without clogging your pores and full coverage. The difference is this is a high-end foundation and this is a drugstore foundation. So I wanted to put it side by side. When I thought of matte, I thought of this foundation right away, because once I tried this foundation, this is my second time trying this foundation, I noticed that it did give me that same look that I get from this foundation that is high-end. The price is a little less than $40, but it's still high-end, and I wanted to see if I could compare them side by side, you know, comparing a drugstore with the high-end. Yesterday when I tried this foundation, I applied, of course, the new one first, and I noticed that after a while this one took longer to dry in my skin. So once you're gonna see the video, you're gonna see that it looked more shinier, and I kept, you know, fanning it, and I did other stuff, and it still felt a little tacky, and I'm like, it's taking too long to dry. Well, today, even though I didn't record it, I wanted to do something different. I applied this one first to give it time to dry, and then I applied this one later on. And I noticed that even though I applied this one later on, it dries so quickly. I'm telling you, it dries so quickly, and it gave me that powder finish to it because it's a matte foundation. But then this one, it was still a little tacky. So once I was able to see that they kind of like dried almost at the same time, but this one, they still dry quicker, even though I applied this one later on. I'm gonna say that once I tried both foundations yesterday, I felt like the coverage was on point comparing both, and I also noticed that the oils were holding at the same time really nicely. The only thing I didn't like that with the Kat Von D, something that I do struggle, and I do say that the acne scars do show a little bit more because it's a matte foundation. And this one, I feel like the coverage is really on point. You do get really a nice amount of coverage, and if you're gonna see in the video, I did not use the same. I didn't have to apply a lot for me to get a really good full coverage results. A very nice coverage. This one, of course, gives you a really nice full coverage, but this is a drugstore, and usually drugstore you have to apply a few strokes, and sometimes you don't even feel satisfied with the coverage, or it may not feel light, or I don't know, and you have to use a lot of product. But this one, I feel like it does give you a nice coverage, and you don't have to use a lot of product, and it does dry quickly. I was so impressed how quickly it dried. I did notice once I apply it gave me kind of like a little bit of patches, but I have changed the way I apply my foundation. I don't use a beauty blender because after I did see that video, like I shared another comparison, a lot of the product does stay in the sponge, and you're wasting product that way, and even when you apply it, it's kind of like removing it. So I am changing the way I apply my foundation, and I'm still using the brush. And even though it's a brush, it's not going to give you that seamless finish. But then once I finish setting in, it didn't take that long to set in, then I go back with a little bit of damp sponge, and I go back and make sure that it looks seamless. So I did notice that those patches that didn't look uniform, once I use a sponge, it did look much better. So to be honest with you, I am liking this foundation. I will say it's my first impression because it's my first time sharing it with you, but I have tried this foundation for 2 days in a row, comparing it side by side, and these are the results. I'm very happy with it. I like the matte finish. It does stay matte for a long time, especially on my skin that's very oily. I am glad that I didn't get no negative reaction to it because I have sensitive skin, and I did not break out either, even though I do have acne. I was not breaking out. As you can see in the video, there's a lot of areas that are a little bit dark because I'm getting acne there, and then I get hyperpigmentation. It was able to cover those very nicely with just a little bit of product. So I am very impressed with this foundation. And I'm also loving this foundation. I am not, even though I need to wear matte, I don't like matte too much because I like it to look a little bit dewy, a little glow with it. So what I did was I did apply some Cover FX to set, to give it kind of like a little brightness maybe, or kind of like make it pop. Yesterday I did not put any setting spray at all. and it did look more matte throughout the day. Feel that when I applied this foundation, you could see the difference in my skin. It covers the redness, and it also covered those areas that I have those hyperpigmentation. It made it look so much uniform and looked really nice. So even just this alone, if you don't want to wear any other makeup on or apply, do the whole contour routine, I think this will look really nice on its own. So far I am liking this foundation. So this is what I wanted to share with you, my routine, comparing side by side both foundations, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And this is the final results after 2-day wear. I'm very impressed. I really liked it, and I could say that I could compare it with Kat Von D, because Kat Von D is a really nice full coverage foundation without the need of wearing a lot of products. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you did, I invite you to give it a like. And if you haven't done so, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, bye.